Welcome back, I'm Alistair, and today I've got the Hoka Mafate 5. Ooh, I was so excited to get hold of this shoe because I absolutely loved the Hoka Mafate Speed 4. So I'm just going to get that out there. Hoka has now dropped the Speed from the naming. So the Mafate 5 is the successor to the Mafate Speed 4. A little confusing, I know, but I think they did that because of a recent release of the Hoka Mafate X, the carbon-plated trail racing shoe, which I reviewed over there if you're interested in learning more about that one. What does that mean for the Mafate series? Well, actually a lot. This one has changed completely. It's not the same shoe anymore in my opinion, and that makes me a little bit sad. What you're going to find in the new Mafate 5 is a lot more cushioning and protection underfoot. It's also a little bit heavier. I feel like Hoka has gone the direction of creating a slower shoe, which is less agile, but a lot more protective and plush underfoot for long miles, but not for anything too technical. This is going to be for light to moderate trails now. Now, although it's heavier, slower, and plusher, that's not going to be a bad thing for everyone. I think it's going to be a bad thing for the people who loved the Mafate Speed 4. It is for me, but this is a totally different shoe now. So by the end of this review, you're going to know if this one's for you or not. Let's start with the key specifications. They cost $185. Like I said, I'll let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 11.2 ounces. The previous version was 10.3 ounces, so it is considerably heavier. I'll let you know how that affects you and your run in just a moment. They have a drop of 8 millimeters from heel to toe. Mafate Speed 4 had a drop of 5 millimeters. So you can see what's going on here. You can see Hoka is definitely trying to position this shoe now as a slower shoe, a shoe for people who like to have more cushioning under the heel strikers, and people who just want to go a little bit slower, but for long distances as well. The upper has a warp knit mesh with a TPU cage, anti-fray treatment, and a dynamic vamp. So that's this little bit here. The vamp is this V section of material. This bit in the middle is a little bit stretchy. It's not very breathable, this dark bit, but you do get a nice bit of stretch in the upper and it is super comfortable. The foam is using a dual density foam with SCF EVA foam on the top to give you that nice amount of plush cushioning when you do land. It is so much softer than the previous version. And that was the first thing I noticed when I tried them on. Just how much compression is going on. The outsole is using Vibram Mega Grip with 5mm traction lug. This is probably one of the most aggressive outsoles I've seen on a trail running shoe of late, and it's fantastic. I can't fault it. It's Vibram Mega Grip after all, and the lugs are just crazy aggressive, so they'll go over anything, and you shouldn't be slipping around in a shoe like this. Some extra features include gaiter attachment at the rear. So if you are running anywhere sandy or places where there's dirt particles and you want to stop them from going in the shoe around the collar, get yourself a gaiter and you'll be able to attach them to this shoe. It's using rocker integrity technology and it has the Meta rocker geometry on here, as you can see. All that does is create a nice smooth roll from heel landing to toe takeoff. Just makes it a lot more efficient and comfortable if you are running longer distances. And there is also a heel focused active foot frame. What that means is these walls here on the midsole do rise a little bit, cradling your heel within the shoe and giving you extra support and stability. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Hoka Mafate 5 does run true to size. So if you're used to running in Hoka running shoes, go with your usual size. They do have a medium to roomy width, so it's not like the Speed Goat where it is quite tight in the toe box. there's actually quite a good bit of volume in there. So I really do like how they feel, the fit of the upper. It is much better than the Speed Goat with regard to that. So it just feels very airy and fantastic heel lockdown in the shoe as well. But I do have to call out this tongue. It's so short. I just find these tongues really, really annoying. It's the same on the Speed Goat series. And when you first get them, it just feels very stiff. And because it's so low, it digs into the front of your foot a little bit. They do soften up over time for sure, but I would just like to see Hoka making the tongue a little bit thicker and longer. It would just be so much more comfortable. Other than that, the fit's really good. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like, share it with a friend, and comment on the video. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. Lets me know you're watching, you're engaged, you're enjoying the content, and it's a great way to start the conversation. Let's make this channel more of a community. We'll help other subscribers out by sharing your own opinions on the shoe I'm reviewing. Or maybe you've got a question about this shoe that I haven't covered, or you've got a question about running, or you're not sure where to start with running shoes and you just want some guidance, you want some pointers. Drop all that in the comments. I'll get back to you, I'll get back to everyone. And let's get this community going. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified of new videos, just like this one. Bam, you made it to my performance review. I'm gonna start with how this one feels. I'm gonna talk about the ride a little bit because this is the biggest shift of all when it comes to how it compares to the Mafate Speed 4. It's a completely different shoe, but the first thing I noticed was just how plush and soft it is underfoot. Now that's not a bad thing for some runners out there. People who maybe aren't running very technical trails, or they're running on very solid terrain. Maybe you want a kind of like a road to trail shoe. If you do have to run to get to your trailhead, you need a cushioned shoe to run on tarmac or concrete. To get to your trailhead, this could be good for you as well. And if you just want more protection and cushioning underfoot, then a highly plush cushioned trail running shoe like this could be good for you as well. But I have to mention it because if you are expecting the next evolution of the Mafate Speed 4 that came before this, well, your expectations are going to have to be shifted because it's a very different shoe. It's incredibly plush underfoot now, so it's not going to be as good as the previous version on technical terrain. It's not going to be as agile, it's not going to be nimble or as controllable as the previous version. But like I said, it's for a different type of trail running now, so don't get all angry at Hoka or me for sharing the news. It's a different shoe. That did disappoint me for sure, but I can see the benefits of a shoe like this for a lot of trail runners out there. Most of the plushness does come from the heel. So this 2-layer system, you can see it kind of kicks out at the rear here. That is where you get the compression. It just sort of collapses in on itself and gives a really nice plush ride. And it's actually really good if you are running down, nothing too technical, but down steep declines. You just land on that soft heel and it's like having marshmallows on your foot. It absorbs so much shock at the rear. So if you are running long distances and you're running a lot of hard terrain, hard packed stuff, rocky stuff, then you're really going to appreciate all this cushioning and plushness underfoot. It's going to feel very comfortable. It is heavier than before as well, and it's not the lightest shoe by any means. So it is much better positioned if you are going to be running slow miles, or if you're a medium weight to heavyweight runner, it's going to feel a lot better, a lot more protective for you guys. If you are a very lightweight runner, this is probably going to feel a little bit too bulky, a little bit too heavy for you. You're not going to get as much out of this shoe as you might a lighter one in terms of agility and being able to navigate more technical trails. But again, it's for a very specific person who wants to do a specific type of trail running. So I'm not going to mark it down for that. It's a different shoe now. The upper isn't very breathable either. It was more breathable on the previous version. Be aware of that if you are running in hot climates. Your feet are probably going to heat up quite quickly in these shoes. This is also an issue if you are going to submerge the shoe. Maybe you've got a little stream or river crossing in your trail race or trail running wherever you do your training. they're not going to drain as well as a more breathable shoe. So there will be some water retention. It will hold water a little bit more, making the shoe even heavier, and it just won't be able to vent off quite as well. So something to be aware of if those are conditions that you know you run in. The upper is incredibly comfortable though. The collars and the heel counter are all just super soft, padded, quite flexible as well, although there is some good support and rigidity in the heel cage at the rear. So there is a good support and stability in the upper of the shoe, but the upper is just incredibly comfortable as long as you're not running in anything too hot, as long as the temperatures are fairly mild and changeable, like most mountain temperatures to be honest, then you're going to really like the upper and how that feels. The drop is 8mm now. It's a higher drop than the 5mm that came before it. What that means is the shoe is going to encourage you to land more towards your heel. If you are a heel striker, you're going to really appreciate that. If you're a forefoot striker, you might not like that as much. But again, heel strikers will love it. It means you got tons of cushioning at the heel. It compresses really well. So you're going to have a lot of fun in this shoe if you are a heel striker and you like that cushioning at the heel. So it's now more of a trail cruiser rather than a technical charger, I guess you could say. There are lots of runners who like to run technical terrain and will also like a shoe like this in their rotation for recovery trail days where you just want to get longer mileages at slower paces and you just want a really comfortable recovery jog shoe to be able to do that on the trails. Then this is fantastic for that. Traction is really good. Mentioned this before, it is Vibram Mega Grip. It's incredibly aggressive, very deep lugs on there. And there are sections of the outsole that do go inset as well. So you do get even more distance from the shoe to the ground, giving you extra traction in muddy conditions as well. I really can't fault the outsole. It is fantastic and I haven't had any slips so far. Really good. Now, if you're wondering where the Hoka Mafate 5 places on my best all-mountain trail running shoes roundup on alistairrunning.com, well, head up over there. That'll take you to my roundup post and you'll get to see where this one's placed. Is the Hoka Mafate 5 worth $185 then? Well, if you absolutely loved the Hoka Mafate Speed 4, the previous version, and you're really excited about getting the next version, I don't think this is going to be for you, unfortunately. It's a completely different shoe, but if you are someone who wants to run long distances, ultramarathons, at slower paces, maybe you're a heavier build runner, you run more towards your heel, so you need all that protection and cushioning underfoot, you want fantastic traction on the outsole, you don't mind a slightly heavier shoe, and you value durability, then this is a really, really good shoe. It just doesn't feel like the Mafate Speed series. Hoka could have very easily have called this something completely different and produced a fantastic max cushion trail running shoe. Well, thanks for watching this review. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember, give the video a like. Very easy to do, but I really appreciate it when you guys do that. And comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts on this shoe. Are you looking at buying it? Were you excited about this shoe because you enjoyed the previous Mafate Speed 4? What are your thoughts? Drop them all in the comments down below. Let's get this conversation started. And remember, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching. Peace.